On fire. Unforgettable. That was, of course, Beulah's theme from True to You in My Fashion. And you're listening to Platinum FM. I'm Roger Sleep.
The change.
It's very generous, thank you. Here. Let me give you our card. Cars. First to the phone book, first to your destination. Hope you enjoy Northampton.
Seems like a nice, quiet place.
Well, you know what they say. God made the country, but he didn't make the town. You have a good day.
How can I help?
Hello, Henry. I'm Steve. I'm in town to look up an old mate. I heard he moved here just a week or two ago. I don't have an address. His name's Jim Mitchum. I know that's not much to go on.
No, you're right, it's not. But I've worked with less, and I'm a bit of a dark horse on the old interweb. So... Come on, Steve, let's have a poke around, see what we can find. James Mitchum, you say his name is?
Yeah, James. Jimbo, we called him back in the day. Bit of a character.
Aren't we all? If he's only been here a couple of weeks, he won't show up on any council records. But if he was drawing benefits, then... no. Is he in a licensed trade?
Not really, unless ladies' man counts as a trade. If you draw a blank, you could point me at the local pickup spot.
Well, that's Fazelles on Castilian Street. Or so I'm told. You understand? Before you go there, let me just check. Hospital admissions, just in case, so you can rule it out. It's not very likely granted, but I'm running out of places. Oh, hang on. Oh, dear. Well, I hope that's not your friend. It says here James Mitchum was admitted to the local hospital only last night. A&E, apparently. Might not be your friend. The name is common enough.
Which way to the hospital?
Out the way you came in, right up Abington Street to the top, right again down York Road. The hospital's at the bottom. You can't miss it.
Thanks.
Let's hope it's a false alarm.
looking for James Mitchum. He's a patient here.
Are you a relative?
Yes, I'm his brother.
And your name?
Bob.
So that would be Robert Mitchum.
Yeah.
Well, these records haven't been updated, but it says that he should have gone to the Malcolm Arnold ward. Just follow the signs.
Excuse me, I'm after a man called Mitchum. Came in last night. The front desk sent me to Malcolm Arnold, but he doesn't seem to be here.
Mitchum? Is that the bearded bloke with hair like a silver fox?
That's right.
Oh, yeah, well, obviously he never got as far as Malcolm Arnold, but I can take you to him if you like. I'm heading down that way.
If you're sure, that'll make things much easier.
Oh, that's what we're here for. I really like your hair, by the way.
Thank you. You too?
Yeah, and like in the operating theatre, they've got this sort of object hidden up near the ceiling. So if you have an out-of-body experience and you can describe this thing, well, that would sort of prove it, yeah? Only I was thinking, yeah, but what if you're, like, condemned to hell? Then you wouldn't be going up towards the ceiling then, would you? So well, what they should do is have something hidden under the operating table as well, so that, you know, they've got all options covered. But then there's purgatory. I suppose purgatory would be at eye level, spiritually speaking. I suppose you could hide something in a light switch. Oh, well, here he is.
He's dead then?
What? You didn't? Oh, man, I'm really sorry. I thought they told you. Yeah. I was on duty when he came in. He fell down some steps, apparently, at Fazelles in town. They tried to operate, but he died on the table. No one knows if he had a near-death experience or not.
Near enough, I'd say. What about his personal effects? Do you have anything on it?
Yeah. Well, there's his wallet. And there's this lovely skull ring.
I don't suppose you remember if he had an ornate gold cross, red rose in the middle.
No, I'd have noticed that. That's very gothic. Now, all I remember is the psychic atmosphere when he came in. Very disturbed it was. Funny things happening and that.
Funny things?
Oh, yeah, coincidences and that. There was this woman, very nice, admitted about the same time as your brother. Lovely blonde. She'd hung herself. Well, I say she'd hung herself. It was more, you know, the old sex games. Anyway, turns out her name's Faith. And your brother, the last words he said, well, he wasn't really conscious, but as he was going into surgery, it sounded like he said, "Where's Faith gone?" And I was like, wow. I think sometimes people look loveliest when they're at peace. Not that she's a dead mind, but, you know, next best thing. Just seems such a waste, a beautiful girl like that. You can tell she was lonely, can't you? I find I pick up etheric impressions of people.
If she wakes up, can you call me on that number?
Yeah, sure, man. You've got a good energy. I'm sensing you might be a healer.
I'll do what I can.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. I got a bit of a gift myself. I see dead people.
You work in a hospital.
Prince of Darkness walking tours. Can I help you?
It's a bad time.
No. We've just lost somebody.
I knocked on your door at random. I heard there might be rooms in the neighbourhood. I'll ask somewhere else. I'm sorry for your loss.
Oh, we've a room. There's a room empty here. Oh my God, this is so amazing.
You mean the person who... No. I couldn't impose on your grief.
Oh, what? You mean all this? Well, I hardly knew him. He only moved in a week or two ago. I was just upset because I didn't think we'd be able to keep the rent up. Well, look, you better come in. I'm Becky Cornelius.
Steve Lippman.
God, I'm, like, so relieved.
It's like we just found out the man who lived here had an accident and died. I was completely gutted. I'm doing a parapsychology course at N college, and I thought I was going to have to give it up, but this is completely wonderful. The room's just up the top here.
What was that stuff you said about walking tours when you came to the door?
Oh, Heart of Darkness. They're walking tours that I do at nights and weekends to bring in a bit of extra cash. I call them Heart of Darkness walking tours because Northampton's at the heart of England, and because it's horrible. But, you know, like, in a good way.
How's that?
Oh, well, I mean, all the wars and executions and murderers and things. It's good if what you do is walking tours. The bedroom's this way. Oh, these are just some of James's things. James, that's the previous tenant.
Oh, this is fine. Doesn't look as if James was it. As if James left much in the way of personal effects.
Bathroom's on the left.
How much did you say the rent was?
Well, this flat is the biggest. It's £100 a week, all right?
Look, is it OK if I give you 2 weeks in advance?
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, thank you, Steve. Do you mind that I call you Steve?
No.
For that, I'll pop a free Heart of Darkness booklet under your door. So, what is it that you do, anyway? I mean, you're not a student.
No, at least not of parapsychology. I'm more of a performer. I'm a performance artist.
Well, you'll get on well with Brendan, then. He does stand-up comedy. But am I right in thinking that you're not impressed by parapsychology? I mean, not that you should be, but...
I don't know much about it. It does seem a little overcomplicated to me. I'm more inclined towards simplicity. I'm studying Zen, though not as diligently as I should.
Zen? Oh, my God, your dream come true. OK, oh, right, then I'll let you settle in. If you need anything. I mean, tea bags, directions, that sort of thing. Well, then I'll see you later. Bye. Bye.
It's Fletcher Dennis. James Mitchum is dead.
God bless you, Mr. Dennis. You don't know what this means to an old man. I'm buried in that bleeder's...
No, Mr. Bleeker, it was a nightclub accident. I followed his trail from Milton Keynes to Northampton. That's where I am now. He was dead before I got here. There's no sign of the gold cross he stole from your daughter.
Oh, now that is not so good. It was a family heirloom, that was, Mr. Dennis.
I've checked his possessions at the morgue. I've searched his room.
Get it back for me. I'll see you get the same as if you done Mitchum yourself.
I'll be staying here until the job's done.
Vince, you slag! You're my own brother and just slept with my Thatcher. I know you did, you nonce. I bloody know it.
Yes, Dave, but is knowledge itself knowable? Huh?
If you're a witty fan and you've missed any of this week's episodes, tune in tomorrow for our Wittgenstein Terrace Omnibus. Coming up next, it's The Lackey.
please. All tickets, please.
He didn't just beat her, it's bleaker. If you had seen her in the hospital, you'd want him fishing with the sleepers.
Tickets, please.
Both got on at Joseph Conrad ward. 2 singles, please.
You know what they say. God made the country, but he didn't make the town.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, Brendan, this is Steve. He's in James's room.
All right, Steve. Yeah, Becky said you bailed us out.
Do you want some coffee, Steve?
You're a Zen monk, is that right?
Not really, I'm just George the philosophy, you know. Who is the one who makes the grass green?
Like Monsanto.
I'll get back to your ruffly sloths and leave us alone.
It's not ruffle sloths. It's been shit for ages. Now I'm on Dreamface, if you must know.
What's that?
Oh, it's a social network for people who never do anything but only dream about it.
She's a parapsychologist. Can't sleep for all the monsters that aren't under her bed. No, Dreamface is amazing. There are dream labs all over the world using its database. Actually, I was putting up a dream I'd had about you.
Well, if it's anything to do with what you think sex is, then I don't want to hear about it.
No, that would have comedy value, but no, this was just miserable. You were all depressed and curled up under the sink. It's quite upsetting, to be honest.
Oh, it's probably because I was crying yesterday. What are you up to today, Steve?
I thought I'd have a look around. There was an ad in a newsagent's window I thought I'd check out. Where's, Kingsley Road?
Oh, right out the door, right again, and then straight across the racecourse. It wasn't an ad about pets, was it? It's just, we're not allowed pets here, you see.
No, it was an ad for detectives.
Oh.
We're not allowed detectives either.
Yes?
I'm looking for the Mitchelson and Morley Detective Agency.
Oh, you want Tim? He's in the garden with other Tim. Come on through. You can't miss it. Now. Would you like me to get you some pop and biscuits?
No. No, I'll be fine.
Have fun. Let me know if you change your mind about the biscuits. They're tropical crumble creams.
Mr. Mitchelson and Mr. Morley's office. Do you have an appointment?
No, I'm afraid I don't. Saw your advertisement. My name's Mr. Lipman.
Mr. Mitchelson? Sir, this is Maxine. I have a Mr. Lipman here at the front office. He says he's got no appointment.
It's a deadbeat world, Dollface. They don't make appointments no more. Send him through.
Mr. Mitchelson says he'll see you now.
Took a long look at our new client. He was about as inconspicuous as a werewolf at a christening. So, Mr. Lippman, I'm Tim. This is other Tim. We don't handle messy divorces, and we have to be in bed by 9:30. How can we help you?
This is the Mitchum and Morley Detective Agency.
I raised my eyebrow, drunkenly. This guy was about as smart as a dinosaur at a christening. So, Mr. Lippman, I'll get right down to business. We charge $2.99 a day plus expenses, which is mostly bus fare and fuel rods. They're energy drinks.
I'm sorry, I think I've made a mistake coming here. Better be going.
I bet you practice a lot. What model do you use? Is it a black mamba?
$2.99 plus expenses, you say?
You kept putting my previous statement to me as a question. He was like a psychiatrist. Not at a christening or anything, just normally. I like this thought. Sure, mister. 2.99 of the old simoleons. Take it or leave it. The solar paneling on the office doesn't pay for itself, you know.
Well, actually, it sort of does.
Mr. Lippman, you don't mind me saying, you look like a guy with a story.
I'm looking for this. I'm an antiques trader specializing in religious artifacts. This cross washed up in your town very recently. If you can tell me anything about its whereabouts. So you get a bonus. Cash or energy drinks. You decide.
My eyes skipped a beat. This was it. I was looking at the legendary Maltese cross. Okay, mister. You've got yourself a deal. Leave your contact details with Maxine and we'll be in touch. Unless there's anything else we can help you with.
Apparently there's a nightclub in town called Fazelles. Could you tell me how to get there?
I'd heard of the joint. It was a cheap saloon full of women and swearing. Sure, buddy. It's in Castilian Street, off St. Giles Street. Looks like a castle, you can't miss it. Oh, Mr. Lippman, just before you leave, I had a couple last little questions. Firstly, who's the broad?
There isn't a broad. There's just the cross.
There's always a broad.
On another matter, you may have passed a woman on your way in. Could be she mentioned biscuits. Was a specific variety referred to? Think very carefully.
I believe the biscuits in question were tropical crumble creams.
Thank you, Mr. Lippman. I think that'll be all. In the meantime, don't leave town.
Would you like to go through?
I remember it like it was just yesterday. Well, it was just the day before, I suppose, wasn't it? Friday. Yeah, we got all the students in, all the post-mods and that. They got one of their bands in what they like. I forget their name. It's the one where that lead chap's dressed up like Hitler.
Doesn't sound like the sort of thing my friend would normally have gone for. He must have looked out of place amongst the younger people.
Oh, yeah. Stood right out, he did. Well, no, not really. See, we get all sorts in here. That Friday, for example, we had her that dressed up like a draft board. Monica, I think she's called. Yeah, she's well known locally. She's got the old, the issues. And then there's that bloke Conqueror, John Conqueror. Yeah, he's in here with his lads dealing all the drugs. You know, his dream drops and his special blend. He likes to put it about that he does the old black magic. That's why everyone's so afraid of him. Well, that and the fact that he's a merciless drug dealer with a load of heavies to back him up, obviously.
Sounds like you had quite a busy night.
Honestly, this town at night, you could not make it up. I suppose you could.
And he was over in the crowd when you first saw him?
Yeah, right here in the crowd. Although, no, it was more over there. Yeah, I spotted him when he was coming through the crowd, and right off I thought, oh, he's got an unlucky face.
Why an unlucky face?
Well, just, troubled eyes. That and the cuts and the blood all over it, and the bits of pineapple.
Pineapple?
Yeah, well, that's what I thought, but, don't want to ask.
And you were standing round about here when you saw him?
Yeah, absolutely. Right here. Although, no, it's probably more over there. I was stood there, minding my own business, watching everyone like a hawk, when he comes spin dancing up to me, all the dervishing.
Did you notice if he was wearing anything around his neck?
Yeah, no, he had a tie on. 110%, I remember that. Although, no, that was when he came in. After he had a dance, he took it off and it was hanging from his pocket. Now, he had his collar undone so you could see his chest.
Was he wearing any jewellery? I'm thinking a gold cross on a chain.
Yeah. Was it a ring that was shaped like a skull that was on his finger?
No, a gold cross on a chain around his neck.
Oh, no then. No, see, I remember something like that. Pretty sure I would. No, I helped him over to the washrooms, helped clean up the old fruit pulp and bleeding.
Did you go in the washrooms with him?
Yeah. No, there was a disagreement elsewhere, so I'd gone off, calmed that down, make sure everyone's still friends. He must have finished up and gone off after that. Yeah, he was a bit unsteady on his old pins, a bit too much to drink. He might have thought to go down the stairs and outside, get some fresh air. Yeah, that was that.
OK. This cross turns up. Will you hear anything? I'm going to give you my number. Something happens, call me. I'll make it worth your while, Mr.
Oh, Carnaby. Elton Carnaby.
Hang on. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Mitchum? This is Clive.
Clive?
Well, my vampire name is Orloff, but you wouldn't know that. You just met me yesterday.
You're the hospital porter?
Yeah, Clive.
Hang on 1 second.
I've got to take this. Good to meet you, Mr. Carnaby.
Elton. They're all Mr. Carnaby. Don't matter.
Said there'd been a development?
Yeah. Well, it was a girl who hung herself. You said to me.
She's dead?
No. Oh, you mean the vicar? No, those are her mum and dad. Turns out she's a vicar's daughter, but they're often the ones who end up cold and blue-lipped on a mortuary slab, in my experience. But no, she came round about an hour ago. I'll show you to her. The police are with her now.
After speaking to your father.
I'll come back a bit later.
So if you'll excuse us and try not to bother the emergency services further with your filthy little hobbies, we'll be on our way.
Can I get you a coffee? You all right?
Who are you?
Oh, my name's Steve. I was visiting a friend, came in same time as you. He died, unfortunately. Yeah. I asked to be notified if you recovered. I was concerned.
That's really good of you. Just I'm a bit confused. I don't know what's happened to me, and I need... Sorry. I'm just being stupid. I think it's best you leave me alone.
Oh. Sorry. You know, sometimes we can say things to strangers we wouldn't want to burden friends with.
Look, I just nearly did myself in with the choking game, okay? Yeah, my stupid boyfriend called the paramedics and it was almost too late.
Wow. You shouldn't feel bad about that.
I don't feel bad.
Well, this is what I'm saying, you shouldn't.
It's what happened to me when I was unconscious. I can't even...
Did somebody do something to you?
Not physically. I thought I was dead. This is horrible working man's club. There were these two old-time comedians, but at the same time they were like God and Satan. Oh God, this just sounds like nothing saying it aloud, but being stuck there.
Dreams and illusions are serious things. They can enslave people. Look, it's just a meaningless coincidence, I'm sure, but my friend who came in the same time as you, he said your name when he went into surgery. He said, "Where's Faith gone?"
Well, if you had a picture of him, but I don't see how.
Breathe.
It was real. I was dancing with him. I was dancing with James in that club.
I didn't tell you his name was James.
Look, I don't want to sound weird, but
If you need me to see you to your door, I'd be glad to.
No, I want to talk about this.
I want to talk.
Can you call us a cab?
I didn't want to pressure you if you needed to rest.
No, I want to go to the place where I was dancing in my dream. It's a real place that I've heard of, the St. James's End Working Men's Club.
Hello, is that our cars?
Jimmy's End, eh? I've not had anybody ask me to take them there for donkey's years. Well, obviously I wouldn't, would I? Here we are then. It's a sorry spectacle. Although one a blind man will be glad of.
But this is just a derelict site. Where's...
The club. You didn't know that? Thought it was funny you asked me to bring you here. Burned down. Was it the 60s or the 70s? Quite a few dead, I remember.
Okay, I think that's enough. If you could just take us back to the lady's flat.
Well, no.
Yeah. Let's see if that's still there.
Oh, fuck. Sorry about the... I'm actually a journalist.
I'm not strangling myself.
Listen, what do you remember about the dream, your experience?
It's a bit mixed up. I don't really remember, you know, my accident. I just sort of woke up at this club, you know, the one we went to, but it was still standing. The name was up over the door in lights. Oh, and then I was inside. There were these people. Horrible people. Dead people. They kept telling me that it was hell, but in the dream I got the sense that it was all an act, like it was meant to frighten me. And then James, your friend, he arrived and they made me dance with him. There was this horrible creature that didn't speak. She tried to get me into this sort of corset thing. And then I was on stage and so was James and did I tell you about the comedy double act, Nested and Match Bright? We were all on stage and then the lights were getting brighter and then I woke up. In the hospital. In the shit. Oh, I sound mental, don't I?
No, sounds like something has happened to you. I'm sure more will come back later. You don't remember if James was wearing a cross around his neck, do you? A gold cross, ornate.
What, in my dream? No. No, but why would that matter? It was a dream.
It's just a piece of jewellery I associated with him. I just thought...
That's not the first thing men ask about old college friends, about their jewellery. You're not James's friend any more than you're his brother, are you?
Yeah, you said you were a journalist, didn't you? No, I'm not an old friend. I'm a private investigator. I'm sorry I lied, but the truth scares people off. You know what I mean. You're a reporter.
So if you're an investigator, what's the story with James? Is it adultery or what?
No. My company, we were approached by an elderly man from London's East End, a market trader who'd retired with a decent sum of money. He was in a considerable state of distress. His daughter got entangled with a professional womanizer, I suppose you'd call it. That was James. He'd been living off my client's daughter, and one night he'd beat her, savagely. I went to see her in hospital, and she'd been tortured. He'd left her for dead and taken off with whatever valuables he could find. Most importantly, a cross, an heirloom from my client's mother. It's unlikely his daughter will live. I thought I had to take the case. Like I say, I'm sorry for not telling the truth, even if the truth is miserable.
Yeah, it is.
You've got my number.
Yeah.
Good night.
Night.
Hi. No gig tonight? No. No. Last gig I did on a Sunday, it was firebombed. Paramilitaries, Lord's Day Observant Society, apparently. So, did you find those detectives that were for sale?
Yeah, sort of. Brendan, you must know the local performance scene. Is there a band where the frontman resembles... what it sort of looks like,
Like Hitler, yeah. That's Herbert Sherbert, Force Awakenings. I know him quite well, actually. He lives around the corner. Watkin Terrace. He's planning to annex Shakespeare Road for the Lebensraum. That's what I heard, anyway.
Yeah? Well, thanks for that. Maybe see you in the morning.
Maybe. Good night.
Well, these records haven't been updated, but your daughter's dead, Mr. Bleecker. I'm afraid we'll have to cover her in a thin tissue.
Thank you. She was all I had.
That woman. You can't blame that on me. You've got me all wrong.
Just follow the signs.
Morning. You look nice. You going out somewhere?
Not really. I was actually just going back to bed. If you're planning on following me, don't leave it too long, or I'll be gone.
Do you want some garlic bread?
No, I'm fine, thanks.
Oh. Hello. You've got good hair.
You too?
Thank you.
Are you Herbert Sherbert?
Who else would I be?
Look, I'm a private investigator. I heard you were playing in Fazelles last Friday. There was an incident. Wondering if you...
Well, I'm actually busy recording, so... Although you could come in, you know. Okay. You could be a random detective. Yes. Welcome.
What's with the blank posters?
Blank? No, they're just hung, facing the wall. It's more mysterious that way. It could be a painting by Duchamp. Or, that tennis woman scratching her ass. But then again, I might be lying. It could be blank. Anyway, shush for a minute, please! Lights! Don't ask me anything until I'm set up.
Is there not a name I should call you?
I'm Herbert Sherbert. Don't make me repeat myself.
Is there not a name I should call you? When you saw that night from the stage, was there a scuffle?
A strobe light fight. A girl in convent, black and white. That's Monica. But that's not me. That was very good.
Is there not a name I should call you?
Don't make me repeat myself.
From the stage, was there a scuffle? Is there not a name I should call you?
Detective. Don't make me repeat myself.
Look, I've had enough, but I'll be back.
You'll hear from me. Yeah, call me. Call me.
Good drop.
What have you been up to?
I've had some pretty strange dreams. I called in on the lead singer from the band that were playing in Fazelles the night Mitchum died. Waste of time. The man's an absolute artist. We're no closer to unraveling this mystery, are we?
Well, not your Gold Cross stuff anyway. I had a bit of a poke around about the people in my dream. Comedy double act. Menacing and Matchbright. There's loads about them online.
I know the names, but I can't think of the faces.
No, they were more our parents' generation. They started out on radio during the war, apparently. Met in Africa, part of the entertainment corps. Late 60s, jumped on the satire bandwagon. And their personal lives around then, everything turned nasty.
In what way?
In every way, it looks like. There was the usual talk of backstage rows, but it was worse than that. Matchbright's wife killed herself. And their daughter, she'd come home from school and found the body in the car. Never got over it. Then Frank Metterton, he'd grown a beard and long hair in the hippie era and got involved with drugs. There was a heroin bust in the early 70s, and he had to be admitted into psychiatric care to get out of a prison sentence. After all that, they were finished pretty much. Nobody wanted to commission new material. There was this video, an after-pub routine called Frank and Nick Make You Sick, but that was just the last nail in the coffin. Who's that? Anyone important?
No. No, nothing that can't wait till later. What happened to them?
That's the funny bit. At least one of them lived here in Northamptonshire back then. Nick Matchbright. He was born here. Anyway, with their career in pieces, they decided to stage a comeback tour. Just around the chicken in a basket circuit, pubs, clubs, all that. Then on the opening night, there was a fire. Really terrible.
People were...
Killed. Everybody. Metterton Matchbright, all the audience, the staff, something about the fire doors. This was in 1973, in the late summer.
Funny in what way?
It's funny because the venue was St. James's End Working Men's Club, where I dreamt I was with James. The place we visited last night. The fire, that's how it got like that.
And you can't have known that before, subconsciously?
Look, I didn't even know the place had burned down, did I? Let alone what had happened.
No, I don't suppose you did.
There are still some hardcore fans as well. There's one site that's been up since the 90s. Just see if I can find it. It's on Angel Fire. At first I thought it was funny, like a send-up. Then when I realised it wasn't, it's just sort of lonely. These dead entertainers are her whole life. Betty Carnaby, her name is.
That's the same last name as the doorman at Fazelles.
Oh, I was just thinking about you. Well, no, I wasn't. I was reading my men's mag, obviously. I don't know why I said that, really.
I was just passing, thought I'd call in, see if anything had turned up. Incidentally, I came across a website for two comedians, Mickelson and Metterton.
Metterton and Matchbright.
Is that a relative of yours?
Yeah, I should say so, yeah. It's my mum, that is. Yeah, she's mad about them. No, she is, actually. It's like a mental illness. Tragic. It's the only word for it. Or heartbreaking. And then some of the things she comes out with, I suppose the only thing you can do is laugh. Swings and oranges, isn't it?
I suppose it is. So the cross wasn't found, I take it? Nobody's been in here, was here that night, might remember something?
No cross, no one that came in, nobody. Not a single person, not that I can think of. Yes, actually, now I think about it, there was. Yeah, she got here about 10 minutes before you did. She's still here. Monica Beardsley. Is it Monica Beardsley? No, I swear, it is the first one. Yeah, Monica Beardsley.
Excuse me. You're Monica. Monica Beardsley.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. A friend of mine was in here last Friday. He got into some kind of fight.
Had he got, like, hair and eyes?
Yeah, that's him.
No, he didn't get in a fight. I was just hitting him.
Why were you doing that?
Well, personality disorder, and he was being friendly.
Friendly?
With my ass. That is my place where I sit. He was drunk and sweaty. Came out of the crowd. Touched me, so I touched him back.
I think I understand. You used a pineapple. That's an unusual weapon.
Not really. Pineapple is the most brutal fruit. It's dense, heavy, abrasive surface, acidic juice that would strip the enamel from your teeth.
Was he wearing any jewelry that you noticed?
Yes, he was. He had a ring on like a skull. That's like the bone that you have in your head. Around his neck, he had a cross, gold, 16-carat look like. Set in the middle was a ruby or a garnet, possibly. It's hard to tell. Lighting wasn't ideal.
Can you be certain about that? Might you have imagined it?
I haven't got an imagination, thoughts, things like that. It's a waste of time.
Yeah. Well, I can respect that position. Was that the last time you saw him, when you were hitting him?
No. When I was going out, I stepped over him. He was at the bottom of the stairs, just twitching.
Still wearing the cross?
I didn't notice. He left my ass alone. He had brain damage, so I wasn't that interested. Voodoo crew were standing around. Baron's chaps, John Concrete. Ask them.
I've heard that name. Where do I find him?
The Eastern District. Blackthorn. He's usually in the Burden bottle.
Monica, you've been tremendous. You're the most observant person I've spoken to.
I'm disturbed. I'm not stupid.
Now, see, with the quantum physics and all that, I was hearing in a few years' time, what we'll have is a quantum computer that can do so many sums at once. It has the capacity to simulate a universe right down to the last fucking particle. That's definite. But it's blocked down at the quantum. It says to me, if you can do that, then chances are it's not the first time. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, it's fucking obvious. The greater probability is that we are inside a simulation, in a simulation, in a simulation. I said, do what? And he said, which I'll never forget. We are in a series of infinitely nested computer games. I said, as long as it's not that fucking escapism. You heard about that? it's been giving young kids mental problems. Fucking shameful.
Mr. Conqueror, you're the one they call the Baron, right? My name's Steve Lippman. I'm an antiques trader. I'm here in
Nah,
town.
geezer. I don't think so. I don't think that's a true thing. I know you, man. You're King Death. Death is a star, yeah? See, you're Fletcher Dennis.
Nothing. You evidently know who I am. How is that?
Yeah, well, that's the obia. I've got second sight. I'm well tooled up with all that. Got connections with the lower. With the spirits, yeah? The gods. And broadband.
I'm not here to kill you.
See? I'm not your type, Star. Anyway, I got your name. And it's not like that dies with me, you know what I mean? Now we're safe. You got respect in certain circles, man. Sit down. So, to what do we owe the pleasure? I heard you were still in Mexico.
No, actually, that was a copycat. I'm here on another matter. You and your men were in Fazelles last Friday. There was an accident. Somebody died.
Yeah, true. Diagonal Dan, what fell downstairs. That weren't us. We was in there selling our material, right? We come across him after it had happened. He was proper messed up.
Was he wearing a cross around his neck? An expensive gold cross on a chain?
Nah, man. If he had been, I'd have took it. And sounds like you and me would currently be in negotiations, am I right? Sorry, can't help. Unless there's something else.
No, I don't use drugs, thank you. What is your material, this special blend?
Oh, yeah. Shaman blend. It's legal work. Salvia divinorum and thing. Got synthetic THC sprayed on, so we can get it past the dogs and into prison. Biggest market, yeah? And what with all the voodoo and that, puts fear into people. Smoking it makes everyone more receptive, so...
It's underneath. You pull back the curtain, and there's...
Yeah, girl. You be easy, yeah? You don't worry about nothing. She's new, Star, but she's special. Treat her careful.
I don't use those sorts of surfaces either.
I see, now you're looking all screw-face. Don't be like that.
Answer it. Somebody answer the phone. It's...
When you think, if we are inside a computer game, it's not so much whether you are good or evil necessarily. So long as you're not boring. It's the boring characters that get killed first. Well, not only black ones, I suppose. Be £1.50.
Yeah, take 10. On second thoughts, make it £9.63.
Why £9.63?
More interesting. That was good. What was it?
It's tofu and leeks. In soy sauce with wild rice from one of Brendan's recipes. He's vegan.
Trying to belong to as many despised social groups as possible. Want my life to become a Venn diagram of contempt. So, Steve, how are you finding Northampton?
I lifted a rock and there it was. Well, it's pretty black, but it's not boring.
Well, that's why I'm not doing Heart of Lightness walking tours. I mean, it's weird. The world's first parliament, first industry, it's where the Crusades started and the Civil War wrapped up. And we don't even get a mention on the local weather maps. It's like been on someone's shit list since the Normans. Oh, did you get my booklet?
Yes, thank you. I noticed you mentioned that one of those old-time comedians was born here. Something Matchbright, was it?
Oh, Nick. Yeah, Nicholas Matchbright. Not one of our more celebrated residents, but yeah. Matchbright's partner moved down here too, apparently. Frank Metterton. He lived near Rushton in the Triangular Lodge. He had some friends in the area, but something happened. I don't know if they moved out or died. I don't know. I saw that thing that they did when they were drunk. It was rubbish. Not comedy legends, basically.
Come on, you can't say that. The old guys like Barry Cryer, they all really rated them. I'm embarrassed that Frank could be a cunt, but they broke a lot of ground.
What, so now you're pulling stand-up comedy rank on me?
Yes. Yes, I am, you unreconstructed woman. All right, Frank and Nick make you sick. That was unpleasant. But that was later on. They were both amazing before that. Matchbright was in that one film, Singular Background, where he plays his own 8-month-old nephew. That's amazing. And Metterton, he was in A Magical Order, Yeats' Stella Matutina, in the 30s. He ended up in a feud with Jimmy Page and Kenneth Anger. So, yes, I'm pulling a cult rank on you as well.
Excuse me.
And I suppose he was a friend of H.P. Lovecraft and you're pulling Cthulhu rank on me.
It's funny you should say that.
Hello?
Hello? Is that Mr. Dennis?
How are you, Mr. Bleeker?
Well, I'll be feeling a lot fucking better if I got word on this cross I'm shelling out for you to find.
I spoke today to someone who'd seen Mitchum wearing it down at Fazelles. That's a nightclub here in town. These things take time.
Well, they better not take too much fucking longer, had they then? My Angelica. Oh, a lovely little girl. She passed away.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Call me the minute that fucking cross turns up.
You'll be hearing...
So are all comedians massive cocks, or is it just you and this Metterton guy?
No, that's all of us. Yeah, massive cock comedy, that's what's filling the stadiums now.
Everything okay?
Yeah, everything's fine. It's just, you know, my agent.
Oh, yeah, tell me about it. I've got the same agent as Osama bin Laden. Haven't heard from him in ages. Anyway, I've got an open spot later on at the Sad Cafe, so we can leave the washing up till then.
What's that?
Oh, I forgot, it's Monday. That'll be the Tories culling the elderly and infirm over at the cricket ground. Anyway, I'm off. Laters, vegetators.
Idiot. It's Guy Fawkes night, November 5th. Did you know that the gunpowder plot was hatched here in the county? Possibly at the Triangular Lodge. One of the plotter's fathers, Thomas Tresham, had it built when he was under house arrest for being Catholic, basically. He built it with 3 sides to represent the Holy Trinity. He was a bit mad at the time. He thought... Oh. I'm sorry, Steve. I'm giving you the walking tour.
See you in the morning, Becky. Thank you for dinner.
Oh, anytime. Anytime I can tempt you with a steaming entree, I'd be glad to.
These are very serious charges here, Miss Harrington. Wasting police time, acting in a manner likely to endanger life.
It was called a 963.
If you could come with us, I'll give him what hour it is. Your case will be reviewed in night court.
But I'm not dressed or anything.
You should have thought of that. Having a vicar as a father won't help you down here.
This can't be right. The whole thing, it was just an accident.
Miss Harrington, we know a black accident when we spot one.
But I haven't done anything.
We'll let the court decide that.
young lady, Your Honor. Although really, she's not that young, is she? Old enough to butcher. That's the saying, isn't it, Patricia? Charged with slutty clothes and euthanasia.
Oh, dear. Counsel for the defense. How does your client plead?
Well, she sort of goes, no, please, this can't be happening. Let me go and I'll do anything you want. Oh, mercy. And then she cries for a bit and sits there looking traumatized. To be honest, it's a bit of a performance. She's a blonde, Your Honor.
What are you...
Silence in the blonde. I must insist that the defendant be restrained.
No.
Objection. Overruled. Now let that be a lesson to you. The counsel for the prosecution will now speak his mouth off.
Thank you, my lad. Members of the jury, let me put it to you. She's a dirty little girl. She dresses up in dirty clothes and does things in the cupboard. If I may, I'd like to give an outline of her character through the medium of animal performance. I want you to imagine, members of the jury, that each of these dogs is a lie the defendant has told. They seem sweet, but keep shitting on the floor.
Objection, Your Honor. My learned friend is turning the courtroom into a circus.
Overstayed. Now, does the defense have anything further to add?
No, not really. I was just messing about. No further questions.
Members of the jury, how do you find the defendant?
She's over there. We all end up down here sooner or later, don't we, sweetheart?
That being the case, it is my dismal duty to enforce the law unto its fullest and most miserable extent. You are hereby sentenced to be taken from this place and cloistered in a mean yard open to the sky, where you will be finished of your dismal outing, and may the crows have mercy on your sorry eyes.
The woman with the dark glasses, she was the stenographer, and there was the clown. Am I going mad? Is that what this is? I don't know. Perhaps I cut off the oxygen in my brain. Perhaps I damaged it. I just sat awake all night. I was afraid to go to sleep in case they'd be there. Why am I dreaming about these two shitty 1970s comedians? Or that skinless woman on her jacket? It doesn't make any sense. It's just some...
Skinless woman.
The thing I told you about with the insect noises following her everywhere. The back of her coat, she's got this picture of a woman with no skin. You can see all the muscles. What?
I had this dream yesterday morning that I was awake, that I'd already woken up and gone downstairs, and my housemate was behaving oddly. On the back of her robe was the image you describe. The rear view of a skinless woman's torso. And there was this buzzing.
Are you fucking me about?
No.
Oh, Christ. What is all this? Is all this real?
No. The puddle in the road is real. This isn't real. They don't behave like normal dreams. You look terrible, by the way.
Thanks. Been up since 3 a.m. I found out that Messerson once had a house here in Northamptonshire.
Yeah, the one in Rushton. Yeah, I don't know where that is.
Oh, I thought I made a discovery. I found out who the estate agents were and picked up the keys. It never sold because of all the ugly stories there were about the pair of them. I told them we were newlyweds.
I won't meet them. You probably didn't need to mention me at all.
Did I say I hadn't had much sleep?
You know this town. Is there somebody or something you'd associate with a stylized lightning bolt?
What? Like an electrical goods shop or what?
Like a lightning bolt icon?
No, who's it from? Can you just, trace it back?
No. No, that's the thing. I couldn't.
This is Mike from Semilong, who writes, Dear Roger, good to hear you back on the air. You could say I've been suffering from sleep deprivation. Could you play Mystery Boys by Huff the Talbot for my wife, Irene? Anything to oblige, Mike. All the way from 1973. That was a good year. Here it is, served up on a Platinum FM platter. Platinum platter.
So in his basement flat, that's where the spaceman's at. He's got a Kerouac lacquer and a rapper black. 8-track, forever feeding back. Baby Brainiac. And Donna paints a name upon the freight yacht train. In 40 Carolinas that are train.
Surprised the estate agent let us come here alone.
Said quite frankly, though, you could burn it down. I think it's been on their books for decades.
You'd think having a famous owner, someone would want it.
Not if he's famous for taking loads of heroin and getting sectioned, though.
And black magic.
What?
Frank Mitchum was a member of a magical order in the 30s. Brendan told me. He's another of my housemates. He does transvestite, occult, H.P. Lovecraft stand-up comedy.
Sounds a bit niche.
He said Frank Mitchum was a member of a magical group to do with that poet, W.B. Yeats.
Huh, I suppose. Black magic, poetry, are pretty much the same. The invocation and the evocation. Look at all this. At least we've learned he was obsessed with himself. Oh, this is no good. Come on, let's look up and get back to town.
There's Roger Sleep, and we've got Cynthia from Ecton Brook here on the line. So, Cynthia, tell us, what was the nomination for the Sleep of Reason?
Well, Roger, what I find unreasonable is flies. I think they're stupid things I can't see any need. Even if you've got your window halfway open, they still fly into the glass. And then there's how they rub their hands together like they're doing something evil to a woman.
I can remember back when I was growing up, they always used to say that houseflies were the souls of clergymen.
My auntie Bitter, she was always saying that. You'll never see a fly on Sunday, and it's true, you don't.
I'll tell you what, they've never crushed one, have they, Cynthia? They've never hit one with a newspaper and heard the dirty little voices saying prayers.
Do you know, Roger, when I was a girl, the vicar, Mr. Clark, ran across the ceiling.
And that was Jean from Dustin, airing her grievances about the recycling lorries. This is Roger Sleep, and here's the Millers with We're in the Past.
Oh, Jesus. You okay?
I think so, yeah.
Did you fall asleep? Should have been looking.
No, overtaking us. I thought I saw a car. A black car, and Steve, they were in it. Match Bright and the woman, they were in the car. I realised I was dreaming and...
It's okay. We're okay.
No, we're not okay. Nothing's okay. I don't know what this is. It's like... Can dead people be alive in dreams? Is that possible? It's not. That's not possible.
I don't know anymore. Becky? Is everything okay?
Steve? Oh, I didn't know what to do. Brendan's out, and Steve, there's a man.
A man?
Around the corner. He's been there for hours, just standing there.
Wait there.
Who are you? Actually, I don't much care. You picked the wrong day for...
Took a long look. It wasn't pretty anymore. We're still living. I believe we had a deal. The information you wanted in return for a certain caffeinated sports drink. Hi. He looked about as grateful as a robot on anti-robot day. You'll find our invoicing closed. We're still living. Our terms are 30 days. Don't make us come looking for you. I felt used and morally weary. Turning my lower body, I walked into the night as black shoes. Turning my lower body, I walked off into the night as black shoes. Oh, sorry.
Yes, it's a painting. It's called The Seven Persimmons.
So it's like a statement about being, something like that.
Saying that these simple fruits are expressing the essential qualities of human existence. Is that right?
No. Something that's just quite disturbing.
Disturbing in what way?
And that it contradicts the supposed facts I've based my actions on. This cross I've been looking for, it isn't a family heirloom passed down by somebody's dear old mother. It's a famous piece of Rosicrucian jewellery which connects to a multiple murder in the early 70s. A businessman, Charles Kitchener, his wife, and their 2 dinner guests were executed at his house in Rothwell. The investigating officer, D.I. Rickett, he thought the cross was incidental, that it wasn't the motive of the crime. More likely it was taken by the killer as a souvenir. They did have a suspect, but the cross, the sole piece of evidence, was never recovered, so he was never charged.
Who's the suspect?
An original growth Hackney gangster who worked his way up in the 60s. Mr. Patrick Edward Bleecker, known as Patsy. He is the bereaved old man who wanted me to find James Mitchum. Seems he didn't earn his fortune in the vegetable trade after all, though it says a lot of his associates did end up as vegetables.
Who's the woman?
Angelica Devine. She was lucky enough to become the second Mrs. Bleecker. She died in the early hours of yesterday morning, so I'm told. She's the woman Bleecker told me was his daughter. Just like he said James was the one who brutalized her. Angie Bleecker, Bleecker's trophy wife.
How did James Mitchum end up with this cross?
How about this? Angie Bleecker's looking for a lover, a daddy type. But James Mitchum, it must have seemed as if his ship was finally come in. Perhaps they begin a long-term clandestine relationship. Anyway, Angie comes up with a plan for them to escape together.
She'd have wanted some insurance.
She knows about the murders in the 70s. She knows about the cross. She knows it's evidence that will send Bleecker down for life. She gives the cross to James, and she goes on her own to tell Bleecker she's leaving him. She reasons he won't dare touch her with the threat of them going to the police. Only she's drastically misjudged his response.
James finds out somehow what's happened, understands who he's been shagging all this time, so he takes off, escapes to the arse end of nowhere, which just happens to be Northampton. Except, how does he get from there to Dancing with Me in My Coma Dream, inside a club that burned down 40 years ago, run by 2 dead comedians?
Yeah, I don't know.
This folder, I don't know who gave it to you. He was some sort of detective.
Yeah, broadly speaking.
That normal then? Private investigators hiring other private investigators to do their private investigation for them. Is it like, I don't know, modern British artists paying someone else to make the actual stuff? And what about this seasoned gangster with a massive secret? What the fuck would he be doing hiring an investigator in the first place?
Yeah. Well, I'm not really a private investigator, am I?
Evidently not. You're not James Mitchum's brother, like you told the hospital. You're not his friend, like you told me. You're not...
An antiques trader, yeah, I know.
Antiques trader? You never even told me that one. That must have been someone else.
You told the estate agent we were married.
Well, I'm screaming at you and not getting any sex. We might as well be. Are you even anything? Oh, Zen Buddhism, isn't that all about, like, dispensing with, like, deception and illusion?
Yeah, actually, you're right about that.
Oh, and here you are, man of 1,000 fucking faces. Look, if I don't get the truth this time, the 100% truth, I'm walking out that door. I mean it, Steve. If Steve's even your real name.
My real name's Fletcher Dennis.
God, for fuck's sake, I was joking! So what do you do when you're not performing, trading in antiques, investigating, swapping college anecdotes, or being, I don't know, related to somebody? And don't say this or that.
Everything all right up there?
Everything's fine, thank you. Look, sometimes there are people who, according to my value system, okay, some people continually subject others to harm, distress, and even executions. And what I do is I find those people and I stop them doing what they're doing for an agreed fee.
You're a hitman.
We prefer exit technician.
You can't be fucking serious.
If I was going to tell you another lie to keep you on side, is that the one I'd choose?
You actually kill people for a living. Oh, I should get away from you. And from all of this, I should get as far away as possible.
I'm not sure handling our own problems separately is the best option.
I'm stuck between an East End villain on the one hand and a
a troupe of light entertainment ghouls and spectres on the other, and the one person that I've got on my side, the one person that I'm supposed to put my trust in, is a morally discriminating hitman.
Well, we prefer
It's a
exit.
morally discriminating exit technician. Fuck.
If you want, I can sit up beside the bed and keep watch. If it looks like you're distressed, or even if you look like you're dreaming, I can wake you.
And you'd do that, would you? You'd stay up all night and watch me sleep
Yeah?
and not exit me?
And my friend, Mr. Moon, people say we make the perfect pair. Even when we're out of tune, we're so debonair they just don't care. Me and my friend, Mr. Moon, we're so very versatile besides. He can shine while I can croon. I can strum while he directs the tides. Why can't those Russians and Americans just all agree that he stays with me?
Hi.
It's underneath. You pull back the curtain. Answer it. Somebody answer the phone.
You look as if you're new. How can I help?
Where am I? Is this the St. James End Club? I didn't know this was still here.
Yes, you did.
Excuse me. I think I'm dreaming.
Oh, I know. Always best, aren't they, the ones you don't make up from? Now, what can I get you?
I don't drink.
Just a glass of smoke, then. You see this fuss in the papers about the unions, ain't it really?
No, the puddle in the road is real. This is not real. What do I owe you?
No charge, darling. This one's courtesy of Mr. Matchbright over there. He's one of the proprietors.
Glad you could join us, Bob. Or was it Steve? Steve, was it? It's not often you get the quality down here. I'm Nicky Matchbright.
Someone said your film was very good. Singular background.
Oh, well, we must always pay attention to the background, shouldn't we, Bob? I mean, I always say that it's just foreground with something to hide. And as for singular, well, you strike me as a bit singly yourself, Bob. Steve, was it Fletcher? Yeah. You're a bit of a singularity, that's you, all right.
I don't know what you mean.
Don't give me that. You're a singularity, all right? You got the eyes for it. The light goes into them, but it don't come out again, Bob, am I right? You're not emitting any signals, what with your tremendous fucking gravity.
I'm not sure I follow you.
Look, Steve, the only reason anyone suspects that you exist is because that's what the mathematics point to. You're like a big hole, and no one knows you're there until they fall in. Only thing that gives you away is all the devastation out at your perimeter. All them post-mortem x-rays when you've swallowed somebody. The only way we know about all them dead stars inside you is the quantum ripples on your forehead, son. Yeah. You've caused a few fires to be put out before their proper time, and don't you know it? Oh, my word, yes.
This isn't a recognizable dream. Something about the texture of it. Am I another Bardo?
There'll never be another Bardo, son. Oh dear me, I do apologise. It's the smoke. It gets down me. I've been this way since Spot of Bother. A black accident. You know, from the moment you walked in, I thought, fuck me, we got a live one here and no mistake. From the moment you walked in. You tell him, Jesse. It was Jesse, wasn't it? It's not Frank, I know that much.
James. I'm James.
Yeah, of course you are.
You're James Mitchum.
Oh, God. Are you working for Bleecker? Are you gonna kill me?
No, things have changed. I've been looking for you.
Oh, that's very gratifying that the little people still remember. But where are my manners? Please, please do come in and have a seat.
How are you working all this?
Oh, you know, paste diamonds, props, knicker elastic, smoke and mirrors.
But you're dead. You and your partner, you died in a fire.
Well, yes. That's where we got the smoke.
And yet you're alive in dreams.
Now we're getting to it, aren't we? Ghastly old dead entertainers still alive in culture. Still alive in dream time, eh? As if there were the slightest bit of fucking difference.
So this is magic, then? You've done all this with magic?
Oh, yes, I remember very clearly. Every last bit done with sorcery. Was that poetry? They're two old friends of mine, and with advancing years, I have increasing difficulty telling them apart. Both rather highly strung, and nobody believes in either of them. Actually, that suits my purposes. I mean, I don't suppose the Japanese believed in A-bombs, did they?
And your purposes? You have designs? Some sort of an agenda?
An agenda? Fuck me, I sincerely hope not. Sounds like a board meeting at a mattress company. No, what I've got is a plot. Much better. Good old-fashioned word. Gunpowder plot. Never hear about the gunpowder agenda, do you? Although, Guy Fawkes, frankly, the man couldn't plot to save his life. It was more like a modern film. All big explosions and no plot beyond that. Hopeless.
That girl, Faith, why are you hurting her?
Oh, as I recall, she rather hurts herself, that woman, doesn't she? It's really nothing personal. She's just coma blonde, that's all. One of my dramatis personae. She's the one who has to visit this establishment and then to wake up and tell everyone we're here. It's part of my plot. Or my agenda, if you're going to be all corporate about it.
And Mitchum?
Dog food in a suit. Bait, basically. He's only here to rope the next one in. It's like a relay race, except I've rigged the finish.
The next one? Who's the next one?
That's you, Mr. Dennis. That's you. And here you are. It's a most unenviable position. Caught between a ruthless, psychopathic monster on the one hand, and, I suppose, a violent fruit and veg man with a bad foot on the other. How is Mr. Bleecker, by the way?
You know Bleecker? How do you...
We've never met. I was more chums with Anne and Charlie Kitchener, who were, I believe, briefly acquainted with him. Murderer of a friend, that kind of thing. We're not close. Basically, we share a mental difficulty and a taste in jewelry, and that's it. You haven't noticed it yet, have you?
That's not... That's not the real thing. That's a dream.
Oh, yes, you're perfectly right, but I know where the real thing is. It's in my keeping, shall we say. It genuinely is quite beautiful. There, at the heavy heart, at the center of the four directions, the four elements, is a blood-red rose. Although, I suspect you're not really the Rosicrucian type. You're more the 3 rocks and a tray of sand sort, I'd have thought. Zen Buddhism, trees falling unobserved and amputees applauding. I mean, it's a bit peculiar, isn't it?
I am the Zen archer. I'm sworn to the elimination of all falsehood, all illusion.
Oh dear. Oh dear, we can't have that. And I'd so hoped that you and I were going to get on and be pals.
What are we gonna do?
With the nightmares, I'm not sure there's anything we can do. And with Bleecker, that's something I have to do alone. He's dangerous.
Well, so am I.
Really?
Look, you can't just leave me out of it. I'm already involved. If you end up in trouble with this Bleecker man, all those ghouls will just be after me. I'll end up on a slab with James.
I'm not sure Metterton was that interested in you. He didn't even refer to you by name. He called you Coma Blonde.
What, like a bit part?
Yeah.
What a prick.
He wasn't particularly interested in me either. The one name he seemed to give a toss about was Bleecker.
So it's possible that Bleecker was the point of all this?
Metterton has the cross by some means. Metterton wants Bleecker, Bleecker wants the cross. So in that case...
Well, if they're swinging at each other, can't we just duck or something?
Yes, for that to work, Bleecker would have to know the cross had been found, in which case I'd have to tell him, after which he'd... what would he do?
Send somebody to get you.
Sending somebody else was a mistake he made with me. Besides, I don't think there's anyone in the field who'd...
You were gonna say that there was no one in the field that he could send to get you, weren't you? Is that because there aren't any more exit technicians, or because you know that no one would take the job?
That one, the second. There might be a way we could arrange some sort of introduction. It wouldn't exactly be safe, but if we could make it work, we'd kill two birds with one stone.
Not literally, of course.
Well, obviously not literally. These days, who kills things with stones?
Yeah, I think we're in business. Yeah. I don't even know what it's supposed to be. You say that the first thing that comes in your mouth. I mean, in your case, I suppose that would be Uncle Gerald, wouldn't it? Don't you start my Uncle Gerald. He was like a father to me.
It's the colours, isn't it? The orange and the blue, how they vibrate against each other. Is it saying like that that's the real experience? It's not about persimmons or all the mental associations that we make with them. It's just about the different frequencies of light, how they excite our retinas. Is that it? Something like that?
No, it'd be better if you didn't talk for a moment. I've got to make these 2 calls, then we can go out. Mr. Bleecker.
Who's that? Is that Dennis? I was just fucking about to call you, wouldn't I? You better have some fucking good news for me.
The good news is I know where the cross is. I was looking at it just last night.
It was? Fuck me. Mr. Dennis, that is the best news what I've heard all year. Fucking
The bad news is I know about Charles Kitchener, Anne Kitchener, their dinner guests, and you. You and your late wife, Angelica. Sorry, your late daughter.
Well, like, what's this? What's all this about?
You knew my terms and conditions, Mr. Bleecker. It turns out you're in breach of contract.
Breach? You little...
Mr. Bleecker, we no longer have an understanding. I'm afraid the cross is forfeit. I'm not sure what I shall do with it. It's not really to my taste. Selling it would be difficult, given its reputation. Possibly the easiest thing would be to pass it on to the police.
Fucking fudge your fucking mum! I'll fuck her up the shitter with a shotgun!
Good night, Mr. Bleecker.
Oh, he sounds lovely.
Hang on.
Who are you calling now?
Night.
You too.
All right.
You know what to do?
We're a bit early, aren't we? It's not 9 o'clock.
No, we're only 60 miles from London. Bleecker could be here in any hour. And if we aren't prepared, nobody's going to settle for best out of 3.
And you're sure he's going to come here and that he's going to come tonight?
This is the only place he knows I've visited. The only place I'm mentioned by name. Hey, I'll be here tonight because he thinks I'll be in Beijing or somewhere by tomorrow morning. Look, Faith, you don't have to put yourself at risk. I can...
No, actually, I do. Like, honestly, I will be fine. As long as you're being straight with me this time.
You can trust me.
All right, then.
There was somebody me and my mates were looking for. We know he's been in here, like. We wondered if you'd seen him.
Well, I don't know. What does he look like?
Well, he's white, little bloke. Well, he's not big like I am. He's got this great bush of hair, like, sticking up all over the place.
Yeah, come to think of it, I do remember seeing someone like that. He had a stripy shirt on, red and black. Yeah, I spoke to him.
That's brilliant, darling. She says she's seen him, Mr. Bleeker. Says she's talked to him.
Yeah? Well, that's fucking blinding, my girl. Fucking blinding. Funny fucking little fucking place. So you seen him then? Our woolly mate. Talk to him. Isn't that what Brinsley was just saying?
We didn't talk long. He was trying to chat me up.
Yeah? Yeah, I can see how he might do that, yeah. Hey. So what did he say to you, the little fucking cunt wife?
He asked me back to his place. St. James's End Working Men's Club. I just told him to fuck off.
Very wise, my girl. Very fucking wise indeed. You have been a great help. Have a lovely fucking evening, won't you? That was a bit fucking easy, weren't it? Maybe so, my girl. May well be so. Now, behave yourself, get in the motor, or you won't be having any normal fucking babies. Put it that way. Just the sort of place he'd pick, the shifty little cunt. All blind spots and cover. Come on! If I were you, I'd save the energy for trying not to witness anything and keep his spunk hole shut. Never should have trusted him, the old inquisitive little cunt.
Mr. Bleeker, I see you found yourself a new schoolgirl bride.
You think this piece of minge is my missus, do ya? Well, I've got my gun up her arse. Not very matrimonial, is it?
Judging by your last wife, I'd say it's fairly representative.
Oh, yeah. You're a funny cunt, and no mistake. Listen, Mr. fucking Dennis, she's not mine. I brought her along here because I thought she might be yours.
Look, if she's somebody you've just dragged along for the hell of it, you're gonna have to let her go before we can negotiate about the cross. Like two professionals.
After it! What's that? Did you get the fucker?
All right, Mr. Bleeker. I'm just looking. There's blood, Mr. Bleeker.
Oh, fucking sweet as, Brinsley. Fucking sweet as. Just make sure you finish him off. The fucking ninja twat. Now, on second fucking thoughts, keep him alive for preference. Then I can chop bits off till he spits out my fucking cross. I'm counting on you, lads. Brinsley? Brinsley? Dave? Dave? Oh, fuck.
They're dead, Mr. Bleeker.
Yeah, I know. I know they're fucking dead. Now you fucking come out here!
I told you already. First let the bystander go, then we can talk about the cross.
You think I'm fucking soft? Eh? Huh? Even if she ain't one of yours, you got the old scout's fucking honour, ain't ya? Eh? You got your code. So I had to come the helpless fucking cripple. You don't want her hurt, even if you don't know her from our fucking cat.
This thing about the code, it's more of just a memorable affectation. Like the haircut, or my weaponry, or Zen Buddhism. All of these things, they're variables. They can be dropped and changed depending on what the performance calls for. Executor, if you like. I'm really not bothered.
Oh, you fucking lying bastard!
I knew it! This scrub of yours, is it? Or just some silly fucking cow you're using to try to get to me? Now, come out now with that fucking cross, or on my fucking life, I'll blow whatever brains she's fucking got all over this fucking yard! On my fucking life!
I fucking trusted you!
I'm not joking. Out now, or down she fucking goes!
You told me all those fucking lies, and even then I still fucking believed you!
Come on. Where's Faith gone?
Right. I fucking warned you. Don't you ever say I didn't fucking warn you. On your fucking knees!
You're right. You know, I didn't mean what I said.
Yeah, well, I fucking did. Wait, are you bleeding?
Yeah, a bit. I got shot in the leg.
Hang on. Wait, I didn't hear your gunfire. I suppose you had silencers or something.
I don't use a gun.
How did you... That's how you were defending me?
Yeah.
What are you, like 12?
It's underrated as a working instrument.
Yeah, well, he underrated it. I'm not going to look at him. A fucking catapult? How did you even aim? It's pitch dark.
Light wouldn't be much use. I have my eyes closed when I fire.
So down in front of the old bus station in a couple of minutes. Okay, great, thanks. Yeah, bye. Wait. So you'll be off now, then? Beijing or somewhere, like you said? Now this is done?
I don't know. I don't know that this is done. Had a bit of trouble recently in Mexico. Might not be a bad time to drop out, lay low. Might stick around here a little longer.
What do you mean this isn't done? If Bleeker's the one they wanted, then I don't...
Faith, we know about them down there in their club. We don't know what they're doing, far less why they're doing it, but still. We know. We're loose ends. No one likes a loose end. Come on.
What's this? What's all this then? I'm not... How the fuck did I end up here? Fucking... You're... Fuck. You're him. Him off the telly. You were supposed to be at that party. You were who I went there for. But you... Am I? Oh, no. Oh, fuck me. No.
Patsy, you're just in time. The show's not really started yet, and we've saved you the best seat in the house.
Northampton Development Corporation there with 60 miles by road or rail. And yes, that was a real thing. You're listening to Roger Sleep, and bringing us up to the witching hour, who better than Mr. Vince Shannon with the immortal Queen of Midnight. Take it away, Vince.
Queen of Midnight by the neon sign. Queen of Midnight where the sidewalks shine. You've got no skin, I see right through. Maybe somebody hurt you too. Queen of midnight, end of every day. Queen of midnight, no one's turned away. You know rejection's never sweet. You took your love out to the street. Queen of midnight cast aside. Queen of midnight, no one's bride. Queen of midnight in your pride and pain. Queen of midnight, I'm like you. Queen of midnight, I hurt too. Queen of midnight, make me new again. I've shed skin too, heart plain to see. I'll never hurt you, make love to me. Queen of midnight, I know you can hear. Queen of midnight, don't leave me here. You know rejection never sweet. You took your love out on the street. All right, if I've intruded, then all right. You've got somebody else, I guess, and I'll go home alone unless. Is that a spark? Is she returning through the dark? Oh yeah, she's with me in the dark.